Yep, that settles it. Right, Mav, don't care about your feelings. Firefly is the weaker unit. It is what it is. Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video, and today we do have Prydwen's very first Apocalyptic Shadows tier list. Technically, I am around 1 day late, and by the time this video goes out, it's probably going to be 2 to 3 days later. But I figure I might as well just cover it as, you know, Apocalyptic Shadows. Our first ever Apocalyptic Shadow tier list. Insane, right? So without further ado, let's get into today's content. Subscribe! Tier list criteria doesn't change, it's pretty much the same. For Apocalyptic Shadows specifically, single target and break potential are heavily favored here. Alright, so this is gonna be the changelog, right? Updates to the brand new Apocalyptic Shadows tier list. The Super Break Team Core is a squad of 3 units that absolutely obliterates Apocalyptic Shadows. Harmony, Trailblazer, Rame, and Gallagher. Insane. It is no exaggeration that these 3 units can be played alongside almost any damage dealer with reasonable toughness damage against the enemy's vulnerabilities and achieve a 3-star score. Surprisingly, it is not even Firefly. Firefly is actually not the main ingredient. The main ingredient is Harmony, Trailblazer, Rame, and Gallagher. We have seen this team dominate in Apocalyptic Shadows across the board, but most commonly alongside Himeko, Argenti, Boothill, Firefly, Clara, Dr. Rachel, Xueyi, and Shu Shang. There are even more examples, but the point is clear. This team completely smashes Apocalyptic Shadows, right? The existence of this team presents an interesting problem as it allows many characters to perform far above their usual station. Part of our initial assessments of the character included whether or not they could function with or without this team comp or even a portion of it. Team flexibility outside of Super Break is important, and the community has pointed out alternatives for some characters leading to a need to raise them up on the Apocalyptic Shadows tier list. Here are the changes that we have made. Harmony Trailblazer in tier 0. Holy shit. We are raising Harmony Trailblazer to tier 0. Whether played in the same team or not, Rame and Harmony Trailblazer completely dominates Apocalyptic Shadows. Now, there's an argument to be made that Rame is more generic. Harmony Trailblazer is a unit that you will almost always use on one side or on the other, and is a huge damage amplifier for many of the top characters. Harmony Trailblazer is closer to the power than Rame than they are to Silverwolf. So we feel it is correct to place them together for now. Okay. Himeko tier 1.5 up to tier 1 in Apocalyptic Shadows. Our initial placement for Himeko on the tier list was a conservative one. Himeko is one of the biggest abusers of Super Break. Takes excellent advantage of the first set of the Apocalyptic Shadow debuff. I'm assuming this is going to be the regards to Break, right? Himeko can still find success outside of Super Break teams in the follow-up attack competition, albeit they are certainly a little bit weaker, but also as a supportive AoE breaker in other break competitions such as Firefly and Himeko Super Break. Insane. This flexibility gives us confidence Himeko will continue to be a strong pick even without relying on Super Break team, and allows her to free up Rame in Firefly's Super Break team under certain conditions, offering tremendous value, and we appreciate the community's feedback. Xueyi, same tier as Himeko. Rated low, and while yes, she's incredible at using Super Break, she also has incredible performance when playing Mono Quantum, meaning she can thrive without monopolizing units on the mode. As a break skilling units, the buff is incredible for Xueyi, but despite this access to multiple teams, great toughness damage and ability to hit enemies that aren't Quantum weak gives us confidence she'll continue to thrive without Super Break. So basically, what I'm getting at is if the units can still function relatively well without Super Break, then they go up here. So Himeko can function without Super Break in follow-up team comp, and Xueyi can function without Super Break using Mono Quantum. King Chue! We've rated Qingque based on the average performance in Apocalyptic Shadows, but the community has found Qingque's high region demands a higher tier placement. On the cusp of attaining 3 stars, Qingque holds an advantage over other characters as a lucky run she can overpalm, meaning you over the edge in incredibly tricky mode. Thanks to her power to edge out a win when it comes to not possible otherwise, we're raising her up a tier. Nah! Next. Luca, tier 3 to tier 2 in Apocalyptic Shadows. Luca can be played in Super Break team, albeit not as a top pick. Despite his low play rate, some players are seeing success with Luca in physical break teams, including Shu Shang and Boothill. Based on this success, we are raising up a tier and will continue to keep an eye. Wow, tier 2 seems a little bit low for Luca. Possibly bump up to 1.5. Because Luca breaks quite quickly, and he is single target. So, possibly bump up to 1.5. But we will see what's the overall tier list. Asa, tier 2 to tier 1.5 isn't best in slot support anymore, but AS is a close contender when it comes to second and third spot, in which some teams for 4 players, speed buff is great when available, break is meaningful, and many teams should serve as a suitable placement for Rame. Bring her for your other team just for filling the slot. Flexibility is enough. Okay. Let's take a look at the actual tier list. Okay. Our actual Apocalyptic Shadows tier list. Tier 0 Acheron, tier 0.5 Doctor Ratio. Then tier 0 Specialist is gonna be Firefly and Booty Chicks. Amplifier is gonna be Rame and Harmony Trailblazer. Sustain is gonna be Aventurine and Gallagher. Zero Wolf is gonna be at 0.5. Huan Huan and Fuxuan is gonna be at 0.5. So these are going to be our tier 0 units. Okay. I just want to get a little bit more of a generic look real quick. Meta characters. SP Unfriendly. Advanced. Okay, so tier 1 is gonna be Himiko, Dale, and
Scylla.
Black Swan, Kafka, Opez, and Xue Yi. This is gonna be a support. Pella, Robin, and Sparkle. Luocha is gonna be at tier 1. Then tier 1.5 is gonna be Shu Shang. Okay. Jingliu, Qingxue, and Jingyuan. Tier 2 as Argenti, Blade, Clara, Wei Naifen, Luca, Sampo, Bailu, Japart, and Lynx. Niche characters. Okay, chat, I'm not gonna talk too much about the niche characters, so I want to focus up a little bit more on the Apex as well as the meta characters. Alright, so let's just take a look from the sustain. Yeah, I think Gallagher is him. And frankly speaking, if we want to go by the criteria of there can only be one tier 0, because that's what I firmly believe. I feel like there should only be one tier 0. If there can only be one tier 0, I will personally pick Gallagher over Aventurine because he breaks faster. Both sides can be weak to fire. Gallagher works well with Firefly. Aventurine, overall, he doesn't break as fast. The bounce from his passive, it's gonna be bouncing between the targets, because I'm assuming you run Argenti on the second half, right? Because it's Imagine Venus. The multiple little towers that Argenti summons, the bounce from Aventurine, it might not hit the right target. So it's a little bit scuffed. Whereas Gallagher, he doesn't give a flying fuck. So that's gonna be that. For tier 0.5, Huan Huan and Fuxuan. Ooh, very unfortunate. I would say that Huan Huan's energy regeneration, it might see a little bit more utility than Fuxuan's Matrix of Presence as well as the crit rate buff. Since ultimately, I think that Apocalyptic Shadows, it is more tied towards dishing out toughness bar damage, as well as still keeping your team alive, right? I think that, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there is a very, very big sustained problem with Apocalyptic Shadows. I literally cleared the first half with Bailu. Angry on the second try, but yeah. So I think that in terms of comfort, and I would say that Huan Huan's cleanse, it could be quite nice for Kokula, especially since she can freeze multiple times, and Fuxuan might have a little bit of a trouble keeping up with it. All right, so I think overall, I think both of them at tier 0 is fine. But if I were to only keep one tier 0, I think Gallagher should be him. Okay. Luocha, I'm not gonna be the day horse, right? It is what it is, so I'm gonna leave that. Japart, Bailu, and Lynx. I think that Lynx lens value has a little bit more of a higher usage than Bailu, because I actually have used Bailu in Kokula's side, and that freeze is annoying. That freeze is quite annoying, and Lynx does elevate this problem by quite a little bit. In fact, I would say that Japart's innate taunt value to draw aggression from Kokolia's freeze hits might play a little bit more of a role here compared to Bailu, because Bailu not having the cleanse is a little bit annoying, right? A little bit annoying. So I think that for Apocalyptic Shadows, specifically Kokolia, I think Lynx can bomb a little bit. For Argenti, it's not that bad. Argenti, I think they're all roughly the same. Argenti doesn't really have a lot of big crowd control, like kind of stuff. As long as sustain, it's good. Right. So yep, that's gonna be that. This people don't really need to talk about it that much, right? So yep, I think sustain tier list is pretty much it. Amplifier. Same theory, right? Same theory. If there can only be one tier 0, I will leave Rame here and I will just drop down to Harmony Trailblazer. If there can only be one. So I actually wouldn't bump down Silver Wolf. I think Silver Wolf is great. She's really, really good on the Kokoda side because she does have the innate quantum bonus. So it opens up your flexibility for team building a lot more. And the fact that she is single target, she can break Kokoda very, very quickly as long as you can find a way to deal with the mobs. As long as you can deal with the pillars and Japart, Silver can pivot between the main targets quite efficiently. But I think Silver is still deserving of 0.5, maybe not to the point of Rame. And I don't know, I just don't see Harmony Trailblazer being in the same ballpark as Rame. If there can only be one. The reason why there's 0 is because there can only be 1, right? So I'll just drop this down. You don't need to make the change. I think this is fine. Don't really need to change it that much. And let's just be real. You're going to be running Harmony Trailblazer. I'm pretty sure you're running Harmony Trailblazer with Rami. Like, it's just one or the other. Can you run a Harmony Trailblazer without Rami? It's ass. Kinda. It's bad. It's okay. I mean, you probably could. But I feel it's kind of cope. Because the weakness break efficiency, the break effect, the rest pen, it all helps our super break. So I think it's kind of cope. Alright. Whereas on the other hand, Rami, she doesn't give a flying if we have or don't have Harmony Trailblazer. It's fine. You can run with anything. You can run with DOT, you can run with Warlock, you can run with Hypercare, you can run with anything. Right. So for all the reasons, I'll just drop this down. You don't need to make this change. This tier 0 is completely fine. So okay, it's good. Tier 1. I actually have not used Pella enough. But I think Robin could be really, really good. Team-wide action very advanced. Follow-up team is exceedingly well for Argenti side because Argenti does have the follow-up buff. Hyper carry for Spargo and Beautiful Dune, I think this works. Spargo and Beautiful Dune for second half of Argenti, it also works pretty well. Pella's AoE defense strat could be quite useful. Soften up the mobs a little bit, allow us to ensure the one-shot for the pillars for both Cocola as well as Argenti. So I think it's fine. I think, yeah, check it right. I feel like the only reason why Pella is here is because of Acheron. Pretty much. Because Robin's reason is here because of IPC. Fargo's reason here is because of Dale, and Pella's here because of Acheron. Really much it. And you just give Acheron the buffs, and she can just pop off, right? And Acheron just does ridiculous ultimate damage with buff 1 on Cocola side. So she's just a great contender. So yep, I think this is fine. Asa, Bronya, Ting Yun. You know what's crazy? I will actually bump Ting Yun down. Because like a lot of our quote-unquote meta comps, the insane comps, they don't really function with Ting Yun. Acheron doesn't need Ting Yun. Firefly doesn't need Ting Yun. Booty Shield doesn't need Ting Yun. Right? All these top teams, follow-up team doesn't need Ting Yun. DOT team doesn't need Ting Yun. Like a lot of these top teams, they don't really need Ting Yun. The only team that can kind of need Ting Yun is probably Imbued Rune. Imbued Rune can kind of function quite well with Ting Yun, especially if you're like E0. Other than that, it's kind of like I don't really care about Ting Yun. Yeah, exactly, right? And like these teams, they are not even close. So, and if there has to be someone in tier 2, I'll probably bump Ting Yun down a little bit. Just because Bronya works exceedingly well with Booty Cheeks, with Acheron, with what was the other guy's name? Firefly. There has to be a little bit of opportunity because I'll personally bump Ting Yun down. I can kind of see Asta going up with Firefly. I don't think she's a replacement to Ramen, not at all, not even close. But I can see her being quite useful. Good breaks, good speed buff, can work with Himiko, more or less, not too bad. But yeah, I'll just personally drop Ting Yun down. Just a little bit too niche. They work more with more of the all these tier 0 units. They can function with Bronya, and to a certain extent they can function with Asta, but they don't really care about Ting Yun that much. So it is what it is. I'll drop Ting Yun down. Alright. So that's my point of view. Hanya, I think we have seen from that full 4-star clear, insane Hanya clear. So I have no experience with Hanya and Yukong, so I'm not going to comment any further. Alright, specialist. So if there can only be one tier 0, do we go for Booty Chase or do we go for Firefly? A little bit divisive. Twitch mod, tell me to run a poll. I'll run a poll for YouTube. We have 77% of Firefly, 78% of Firefly from the Twitch box, as well as 89% of Firefly in the YouTube section. So it looks like actually an overwhelming majority are preferring Firefly to Booty Chicks. Can we get a couple of reasons why people don't have Boot Hill? Because they didn't pull for Boot Hill. Brain Rot, a Boba. Okay, chat. What if Firefly is a guy and Boot Hill is a girl? Does that change anything? It changes everything. Okay, just imagine they are non-binary. Can we just imagine that they are both non-binary? They are both non-binary units. Not having the build stacks and hitting more than one unit at a time. From Prydwen's data. Oh my god. Boot Hill is faster than Firefly, guys. Insane. Oh no. Firefly Copers. Yo, you can't argue with numbers, guys. So it looks like Boot Hill is the better unit. Right, Mav don't care about your feelings. So yeah, I guess it is what it is. That settles it then. Yep, that settles it. Firefly is the weaker unit. It is what it is. Sarah, I do want to ask though, what's the symbol that's for this? 1 million accounts? No, as in like, think about it this way. If there is this is the same way as our CN MOC usage list data. If there is a larger population using Firefly, there's gonna be a bigger spectrum of good players and shit players, objectively speaking. So if the pool for Boot Hill is, for example, 1,000, and the pool for Firefly is 100,000, because a lot more people pull for Firefly, inevitably this data might be a little bit skewed. Because number one, people want to pull a Bull Hill. They probably really want to play for Bull Hill. Whereas people pull for Firefly, they probably pull because she's waifu. Objectively, let's just be real, right? The Firefly has the higher probability for Tapidang, right? It has a higher probability for popularity gain, right? Although numbers don't lie, the way of obtaining these numbers might have a little bit of a bias. So yeah, that's gonna be up to you guys. I'm not gonna say anything, right? I'm not gonna say anything. And I'll leave this one down in the YouTube comments to discuss. Is Bull Hill or Firefly better for Apocalyptic Shadows? Insane. I'm staying neutral on this one. I'm fan-sitting on this one. Insane, right? Okay, cool. Meta characters, DOT units. Kafka, Black Swan, Xue going up a tier. I think Tobaz is great. She's great with Dr. Ratio. She's great with Himiko. I think she's fine, right? She's good. Kafka with on DOT, she's always gonna be getting the right amount of DOT debuffs. So we already have a DOT buff, right, for side 1, so I don't think they're gonna be performing too badly. The DOT, additional damage, all the kind of stuff. Not too bad. Xue going up here, I can see why. I think Prydwen's rationale can be very fair. You can run Xue with Hyper Break. You can run Xue with Mono Quantum. Silver Wolf, Implanting Witness, she can break toughness bar even without being on the right witness. So very good for first half. Very. So yeah, I can see this. Shu Shang, I've never played with her. No comments. All these units, never played with them. No comments. I do think that after seeing that full 4-star clear of Luca, I think Luca does have a potential to go up a little bit higher. He personally breaks. He can break very quickly. He's single target. He has ridiculous toughness bar multipliers. And you can just focus on a single target. Boom, and just do that. So I can kind of feel like Luca can go up by 1 tier to the same tier with Shu Shang. Personally, I think Sambo is not all that. Like, respectfully, I think Sambo, because the way he plays his bounce, right? His skill is a bounce. So like, if he bounces against the different mobs, his break might not be as fast. Because the name of the game with Apocalyptic Shadows right now is breaking as fast as possible. I don't think Sambo breaks very quickly. Unless there's only one target remaining, then you can bounce on the boss specifically. But there's always gonna be mobs, so he might have a little bit of trouble, right? Well, never let you go. Fire Trailblazer, I think Fire Trailblazer can actually do quite well, especially with Acheron. I feel like with Trend of Universal Market, just for the fact that you can bump up Acheron's stacks with Trend, and the fact that Cocolia is a lot of AoE, you're gonna generate stacks on this, right? I feel like you can bump out here, me personally, right? So yeah, that's gonna be that. DPS units. Acheron, it is what it is. Absolutely insane. First half, ultimate buff. Monka, beautiful damage. Dr. Ratio, tier 0.5. I think follow-up team combo works very well, especially for the second half with Argenti. So that's gonna be great. With Tobaz, with Robin, can you technically run Super Break Dr. Ratio? Technically, it might be possible, right? Maybe not as good as Himiko, maybe, but it might be possible. I don't know, right? So because he does do a significant amount of tons of damage to a single target, right? So that's gonna be that. I feel Himiko can go up to 0.5. I feel Himiko can go up to 0.5 personally. I think she works exceedingly well with Super Break. I think she works exceedingly well with follow-up TV. She breaks very quickly. She has big AoE. Her follow-up is a 5-target AoE. Her ultimate is a 5-target AoE. The moment you break, you get a follow-up attack. I feel that Himiko can go up to 0.5. Straight up. Alright. A tier above Dale and Scylla. It is what it is. So I can bring her. I can foresee her being 0.5. Dale, I think the only way she performs is with the second half, with the base attack buff. So I think he's not too bad. Not too insane, not too bad. Scylla, same thing. I've seen some insane Scylla clears with Silver Wolf. All the kind of stuff can clear the Cocola Ice Pillars quite well. So quite timeless, I would say. Jingyuan, Super Break Jingyuan. I'm actually not too surprised if we can get that. Skill Ultimate does need to clear the Ice Pillars. Not sure if you can clear them fast enough, but Lightning Lord can deal ridiculous amounts of toughness damage. Lightning Lord is the single highest toughness bar damage dealer in the entire game, so I can see Jingyuan beat. Jingliu is a little bit sussy. I'm not gonna lie, Jingliu might be a little bit sussy. Probably for the second half, Argenti might not be too bad. Nope. Go back down. Right, go back down. Definitely not biased, by the way. Definitely not biased, right? Argenti, Blade, and Clara. I've never tried Argenti, Blade, and Clara, so I have no comments. I think at this point, these tiers, they like tier 1.5 onwards, you can kind of tell that they are just like not gonna be as comfortable compared to the tier 1 and above units. Like, I feel like tier 1, you can still kind of make them work. Tier 1.5 hours is where the line starts to get a little bit blurry. You need a lot more going to kind of make the team comp functions. Alright, so I think at this point they're all around the same ballpark. They're all around the same ballpark, right? Clara is actually, I'm quite surprised that she's gonna be up here in tier 2 because I feel that she's quite slow, no? as well as Blade. But that's gonna be a tier 0 hours. We don't really think we need to talk about it that much anymore. So that is pretty much going to be it for this tier list. I feel like the hottest take that we're gonna be generating from today is Boot Hill versus Firefly. Who is truly tier 0? Because in my book, there can only be one tier 0. Prydwen is too neutral. Prydwen is too accommodating for the player base. They are not going to make any nuclear takes, right? They're too neutral. I do want to see the community. Who do you guys think there can only be one tier 0? In my opinion, tier 0 is tier 0 for one. There can only be one, right? Boot Hill versus Firefly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if there can only be one tier 0 DPS, right? So that is gonna be that. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Join the Discord, discord.gg for Pokke for the community called Honkai and what is on the Discord community. The Twitch.tv for the recap today. Join on the Discord. So that's all today. All the best for your Firefly pools, all the best for your Jingxi pools, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay.